Merry Christmas! Happy holidays to everyone! Today's video is going to be all about my cats. It was highly requested and I thought, you know what? For Christmas, this is probably the best timing to just talk about the cats and answer all of your questions and include as many clips as possible. So we're going to start by introducing all three babies, and I'm going to put the pictures on the screen so we can differentiate them, and when I talk about them, I'll put their picture on the screen so you can tell who is who. So back in the day, when I first got them and I wanted to rehome them and was trying to not get attached to them, I used to call them 1, 2, 3, which that worked out for me. Clearly, totally got attached to them. So, number one, we have Charlie. Charlie is our chill cat. He's the biggest one by far. Nicknames is everything boy. Pretty boy, long boy, handsome boy, just boy. And we went with Charlie because he was so chill that I thought about Mr. Bingley, Mr. Charles Bingley from Pride and Prejudice. He's the only one that has like a book name. I don't think nowadays he's definitely a Mr. Bingley, so Charlie it is. I'm pretty sure he also has a different dad than the two other cats because body-wise he looks completely different. I'm actually 95% sure his dad is the Siamese cat that comes into my yard once in a while and has peed on my door twice. So they have the exact same body type. He's just fully black like his mother, so I'm pretty sure he's very long limbs. He's definitely taller than the other ones. I actually need to weigh them, but I'm pretty sure he's the heaviest one, but just because he's taller. In terms of the differences between him and Chunky, he is fully black and he has no thumbs. He actually is the only one without thumbs in his house. He is very calm. Yes, about 80% of the time. The other 20%. He loves to jump high as possible. So I have him pictured jumping in the window screens. I have him jumping on the top of the oven thing. I don't know how you call that in English, la hotte. He also had a phase where he was loving the top of the kitchen cabinet. So yeah, he's chill, but... And his favorite toy is everything he can chew. I bought him puppy chewing toys. Didn't love them, but he loves the Silvervine sticks. I need to actually buy more, but he loves those. And his favorite by far is cardboard boxes. I'm going to include a picture of him actually chewing it. And then a picture of the final results. It is kind of scary. So first picture, I'm going to use this one where he is high as fuck. When he swallowed a ribbon and I brought him to the emergency vet, spent $300 for him to get nauseous, not vomit it, and then they got him high and I brought him home and he just stared at nothing for 3 hours. Number two, the cat I used to call number two is Clawdia. Clawdia is the pretty little princess of the house. She is gorgeous, obviously very easy to differentiate from the two boys. She's the only one that is black and white. She has the beauty mark. Everyone thinks she's gorgeous, which she is. Unfortunately, you might not know that she has an attitude. She has giant paws with thumbs. I feel like they're so disproportionate. It's adorable. And I feel like this position kind of shows you that she has an attitude. But my favorite clip of her is 100% this one as a baby where she was barking and swiping. That is her. That is absolutely her. Nicknames. I don't feel like I give her a million nicknames. I tend to just call her Sweet Pea. Just Clawdia, because when she annoys me, she gets Clawdia. She's definitely the least physically affectionate. She has boundaries, which we respect. Probably not in this video, but generally speaking, we respect them. She's actually the most playful of the three, so she likes any toys. Honestly, any of them, she will play with them. She actually been liking the little balls lately. She just runs after them. But her personal favorite is toilet paper and paper towel rolls. Yeah. My favorite picture of her is this one where she looks very happy after getting surgery and being forced to wear a cone of shame. She had no choice because I gave her a little suit and she managed to remove it and open her stitches. So she was stuck wearing the suit and the cone of shame for a while. I was very worried, but we survived. So that's her picture. And then last but not least, we have number three. Number three is Chunky. Chunky is the baby of the gang. That's actually his nickname. Chunky, Chunk, Chunk, and anything baby. Chunky baby, sweet baby, cuddly baby, needy baby, whiny baby. He's definitely the most food motivated of the three by far. But he's actually not overweight. I think that is one of the most asked question about him. I don't think he's actually overweight. He just has a very different body shape than Charlie. Charlie's like long and sleek like a Siamese cat, and he's just average cat. I did ask the vet and he said not to worry about his weight until he's like at least 1 or 2 years old. So I don't think he's overweight, but he has no bones in his body. Honestly, he's like jello in the best way possible. And he's generally very chill too. Just very whiny. He's basically a hobbit. He's requesting second and third breakfast, which is a growing boy. With that said, I think you might be surprised by how athletic he can be. He's not very good at it, but he is very motivated. His favorite toy is any of those little mice. I have so many of them. I don't know what to do with them, by the way. There's probably like 100 in the house. I will struggle to find 10, 20. I go through under the oven and under the fridge to grab them because he's very specific in how he wants to play, and I feel like it's me exercising, not him. I need to throw the little mice and he will jump like crazy to catch them. Sometimes he catches them directly with his mouth, sometimes with his paw, and shoves it in his mouth in the air. It's very, very impressive. Look at her. She's gonna smack me. She is so violent. Look at her. I don't trust her whatsoever. She doesn't love being held. Well, we're going to come back to that in a bit. So let me grab your question and let's get to answering. Okay, when the question is, how does he meow? And you don't understand how hard this was to actually catch. Chunky is very easy to catch meowing. He's the chatty one. That's why I'm calling him Whiny Baby. You're going to hear his meows and it sounds very whiny. We love him anyway. Oh, I have a mice. She's very interested. You can't see her. You do not mess with Clawdia. Yes, that's why I'm calling him Whiny Baby. He just sounds whiny. He also used to make, he doesn't do it as often, but these like baby raccoon noises, that's what I call it. As a baby, it was so cute when he would play and make those sounds. He still does, but again, it's usually to request attention or food. So he's the easiest one to hear. You've probably heard him in videos, but specifically now you know. And Clawdia is so cute. Actually, she was the most vocal one as a baby, like day one. This is her 1 day old. Screaming. I thought she was going to be a handful. She's not the worst one, but she definitely, again, has a lot of personality. Not quite adult voice, but her meows are so raspy. Hear that? Isn't it adorable? So cute. I think she has the most unique meows of the three. Definitely adorable. Definitely like it. I wish I could film her do that. I don't think I ever will be able to catch it because she throws tantrums. That's the only reason I wish I had cameras in my house to catch her do that. I would show it all the time because she just screams and like shakes her head like crazy. The closest thing I have of that is when she was on one of the shelf and I was asking her to get down and she just threw like a mini tantrum, but it's not quite as bad as she can do. But yes, raspy voice. And then last but not least, we have Charlie. Charlie was so hard to get on camera. I mean, not even on camera because the only time I hear him is in the morning when I get up, and that's the only time he will meow. And he does this double meow. Super cute, but really hard to catch on camera. A few of you wanted to know if some of them are better friends than others, and honestly, they get along really well. I don't know if it's because they were born together, you know, they're all the same litter, but I know some cats just fight and they're not that bad at all. Like, they play fight, but they've never done anything bad to each other. The vet thought that Charlie was going to be like the bully because he's so much bigger than the other ones, and if anything, he's the most chill one. Clawdia was definitely the one that I thought was going to be the bully because when she fights with them, the two boys are bigger and she just goes for the neck automatically. It's she's kind of aggressive. But I feel like Chunky, even though he might appear to be rejected sometimes, I think he's the bully. So if I had to choose like the ones that tend to cuddle the most, it's definitely Charlie and Clawdia. It does switch up, but I feel like I have a lot of clips of them cuddling on the cat tree in front of the window. I wish I had a bigger platform. I might have to make one because they used to be all three in there and now they don't fit, so they can't all cuddle at the same time, but they tend to be the two that cuddle the most. And I felt bad for Chunky, so I brought the scratching post in front of the window and now he just sits on it, so better than nothing. But don't worry, he does cuddle with them too, so it just flip-flops. But the most common pair is definitely Charlie and Clawdia. And I'm saying that I think he's the bully because I've been teaching them to only cuddle on my chest, which I shouldn't have. It just happened that way. Now they refuse to cuddle except there. And it's basically one at a time, 90% of the time. And whenever Clawdia or Charlie is there and Chunky decides it's my turn, he just comes and sits on them. I'm going to try to catch it on camera, but he just sits on them. So they get up and leave and he just gets the spot. That's what I'm saying. He's the bully. But the other day, Charlie tried it because Chunky was here and Clawdia was actually also on me. And Charlie arrived and sat on them and Clawdia left and Chunky didn't care. He's like, nah, this is my spot. Do I sleep with them? Okay, that is a thing. I really debated it because I feel like it feels really normal to just let your cat sleep with you. And I decided not to do that. And I feel like that's going to be controversial. I close my door every night. And it is because I've been dealing with a lot of health issues and I try not to talk about it too much, but it does affect my sleep. And if I don't sleep well, I mean, you know, with so many cats, I will go crazy. So I do close my door and I have no regrets because they never like scratch at the door, meow, nothing, and I just can sleep in. Oh, a lot of you ask what happened with the ribbon. So I don't know. I don't know. For 2 weeks I went through his poop, okay? 2 weeks. Never came out. So at this point, if it did come out, it must have been like tiny pieces. It was a really thin ribbon. Like, I'm gonna put it on the screen. I don't know what happened to it. Maybe it's still there. A lot of you were asking me if I was going to get them health insurance, which I didn't because when I had looked, the prices were insane. It was like $300 a month to get all three insured, and that felt crazy. And then I got them fixed, and then when I looked again after that incident, it was $100 a month for all three. So I did get it. I got some. It feels weird because I live in Canada, free healthcare, even for the pets, come on. But no, sadly. So yes, they are insured now. And the day that he eats something else, because he freaking will, it's Charlie, he will be insured if he does need surgery. It looks like he's fine. Like, he's been, you know, pooping normally, he's been acting normal. So at this point, I think we're fine, but it's a question of time before he actually requires surgery. Unfortunately for Chunky, some of you were also asking what happened because whenever he got sterilized, they had some health issues with him. They took some x-rays and he has like a shadow on one of his lungs. That happened in August. I'm still waiting for the results. So they were sending it to an expert. Apparently there's only one in the whole province. I'm still waiting. I called in October because I was like, I paid $250. Like, I want some news. And yet it told me, we're gonna call you when we have news. I'm still waiting. So yeah, unfortunately, whenever he's diagnosed, this will be considered pre-existing condition. So I don't know what will happen. And I also got Clawdia, even though she's never going to be sick. She won't. What weird, cute, funny habits do you have? I need to show you Charlie how he sleeps. Charlie is a stiff baby. He's just very stiff. He's long. He's always slept fully stretched out. I have a picture of him, 2 months old. Fully stretched out. Yeah, fully stretched out, 2 months old, still does it. Still does it. I feel like he has the body of a dog. You know when you grab a dog, it's like pure muscle and they're stiff? That's Charlie. That's Charlie. I'm gonna do a grab test. I'm gonna include clips of me trying to hold them. You're gonna see he's just muscle baby. But yes, he sleeps 90% of the time fully stretched out. And if he doesn't and he tries to do a little loaf, that's my favorite thing because he looks so ridiculous and uncomfortable. From the front, he usually has his paws in like little chicken wings because I guess they're too long. They don't fit comfortably otherwise. Looks silly. But even better is from the side, the little loaf just seems so awkward because it's so high. I don't understand. I feel like he does not look comfortable at all, but yeah, that's how he sleeps. And once in a while, he sleeps with his head like literally on the floor. Any other cat, I would be worried that he needs to go to the vet because he doesn't feel well, but that's just Charlie. He's perfectly healthy, just silly. That's my favorite thing about him. Clawdia, my favorite thing about her is that I thought all of them were words. we're gonna backtrack and go there first because I think it's funny. I regret not starting earlier, and I highly recommend you do the same if you have cats and if you can. But I taught them a couple words. First off is food. They definitely know that one. Charlie is not food motivated. It doesn't care when I say it. But to two other ones, Chunky and Claudia, when they act like they're hungry, I'll ask and they definitely say yes. So I feed them and Charlie eventually goes and eat. The one that they all know, and I can't even say it right now because they will react, could be sleeping, and if I say NAP time, they get up and run upstairs. And that's because I've had to teach them that word to be able to manage the mom at the same time. But they can't be in the same room. She attacks them. So I've had to teach them that word because it makes my life easier to put them in the room so I can close it and spend time with her, obviously. So when I say that, they know to run upstairs into the bedroom, and I give them a toy. Currently, their favorite one is literally an ice cube tray with some dry food. They love it, so I don't question it, and they run upstairs, I give them that, and then they'll eat and then sleep, and we're good. But yes, that one they know. That one they definitely know. One that I've accidentally taught them is the cue to like come in or out of a room. That's useful too. It works like a surprising amount of time, like at least 75% of the time. I thought it was the word come on, but it's the words let's go. That's the one they get. So I just say come on, let's go, and they'll go into the room. Like for example, if I have to grab a package and they're all being there in front of the door, I'll just open the bathroom door, say that, they'll go in there, I can close it, and then open the door, no worries. But to go back to Claudia, she is the smartest one. So she knows 2 more words than the boys. One of them being down when she jumps on the counters. Charlie doesn't, Chunky and Claudia absolutely do, but Chunky is... I'll say that to him. He has no idea what's going on. Not in a cat way where he's like, I'm not listening to you, like maliciously. He has no idea what's going on, like 2 brain cells. So he doesn't react to it. But Claudia, if I say, hey, down, she looks at me and 80% of the time she'll jump down. If she doesn't, I just take a step in her direction and she'll jump down. So she's definitely smarter than the boys. But my favorite thing that I've taught her, which is what we were going for, is the word kiss. Claudia is not the most affectionate cat. She has very strong boundaries. She doesn't like being held, for example. She'll tolerate it a couple seconds, but just me, basically. So we had to find a way to make it work because she likes to cuddle, but she would slap me and bite me on the chin, the nose, not harshly, but she would still do it. So I taught her the word kiss. So she started offering me her forehead and wouldn't bite me. The thing is, now I don't have to say it. She just shoves her head in my mouth. But it's okay. I would much rather that than getting slapped all the time. I have clips of her as a baby. You can see me not trusting her and then her trying to slap me. So that was constant. She would be like on the rest thing of the couch and just surprise slap me. It was just a lot. So yeah, kisses absolutely work. She's still affectionate, but she, like I said, she has strong boundaries. And Chunky, my favorite thing about him, honestly, it's the cuddles, which also a question from a lot of you. Who's the best cuddle bug? Chunk. He's the best, not just because he's a marshmallow, but because he doesn't move. Like, he'll be cuddling me and he will purr super loudly and he doesn't move. Maybe he'll like move a bit to show me his belly more, but that's it. He just sleeps. The 2 other ones, the reason you often see me being laid down in a vlog, a reading vlog, it's because unfortunately I've taught them to cuddle me on my chest. So if I'm sitting down, they just keep annoying me until I lay down. So I have to. And they're the worst cuddlers, the worst. Charlie, we've been working on it. He used to bite a lot. That's why I would call him Creepy Charlie for a while, which sounds really mean, but it was appropriate because you don't hear him come. He doesn't make a noise. Next thing you know, he's biting your toes or just licking your earlobe. And he has the scratchiest tongue ever. It hurts. So yeah, that's why I would call him that. He has improved a lot though. He doesn't bite anymore. Unfortunately, he does still lick, which he has destroyed so many of my sweaters because of that. So I have to be careful and put like a blanket on me so he won't destroy it. And if I'm sitting down trying to do anything, he will be right there, sitting, wanting the attention, and he does not give up. If I put it down, he will come back. Like I've learned that I can't prevent him. Like I just have to accept it. So I do have pictures of me trying to read and him just being there. That's, yeah, I just don't have a choice. And Claudia, the reason she's annoying is not the wanting kisses thing. It's that she doesn't settle. And I'm gonna really try to get a clip of that in the next few days before I post this video, because it's really funny. It's just that it gets annoying because it lasts like 5-10 minutes easily. So she'll come for cuddles, she will headbutt me, I'll give her kisses, she lays down, she's cute, we think we're good. No, we're not. She gets up, reposition herself, the whole process keeps happening and happening and happening. She can do that like 10 plus times. And sometimes she won't actually even sleep. She'll get up and leave. So I'm very happy to give her attention and affection, but yeah, she's the worst cuddler. Which one is the friendliest? Let's say I invite you for tea. You come to my house, open the door, let you in. The first one to greet you is Charlie. He's definitely the one that's gonna let you pet him. He might pet you too, try to lick you, to be honest. Before I would have said to wear like slippers or thick socks because he will bite you, but he has gotten over it. So yes, definitely the only one that you're really gonna pet. Clawdia, you can play. She will absolutely want to play with you. So especially if you grab the long string thing. I had to get a thick one that Charlie can't swallow. But yeah, she will want to play. And Chunky, you won't touch. He's terrified of everyone. He has gotten a lot better, but keep in mind he's the one that tried to bite the vet. So, which is weird because he's by far the nicest here. The more terrified a pet is, the more dangerous they are, right? So yeah, he probably will eventually warm up, but the only person that he really likes except me is my sister. So I don't know if it's, you know, a thing. You would have to show up quite a few times for him to actually try to cuddle you. So which one has the softest fur? Charlie. 100%. When I brought him to the emergency vet, they said two things. First off, whoa, he's huge. And I don't think he's gonna grow much more at this point. He's definitely a pretty big cat, or pretty long cat. But the second comment that they said is how his fur is super soft and really silky. Like it needs to be in an ad, like Pantene for cats. Like very shiny fur. So very pretty boy, very soft boy. The least soft is actually Clawdia. I feel like people really want to pet her when they see her because she's so cute with the little beauty mark and everything. But her fur is not super soft. It's still fur, but she's the least soft by far. Which one has changed the most since they were babies? Charlie. Surprisingly. Not like physically or anything, but personality. I don't know if it's like a Siamese cat thing. I've read things online, but you know, it's online. Apparently they tend to be more independent until they have their person. And for like at least a month or two more than the other babies, he wanted nothing to do with me. Nothing. He would be very independent. He never purred. He never cuddled. And he has now gotten over this. He's super nice. I'm looking there because he's on the cat tree, being very cute. But the two of the babies are starting to become more independent because they're teenagers now, especially Chunky. He used to be so needy. But now he's the one that is probably the most cuddly. Like he's following me around at night when I'm reading. The two other ones will be sleeping in the cupboard, in the hallway closet, on my towels, which I had to move them since these pictures because I had cat hair on them all of. So annoying getting out of the shower and like no. So yeah, he's the most cuddly one now. He loves me and I love him and it's great. He's an awful cuddler, but he's getting better. So what you doing, Coquette? You probably can't hear her because I have to play with the setting of the microphone to cut the background noise, but she's being chatty in the background. Do I think her name fit their personality? Honestly, weirdly enough, I'm not super attached to their names. Probably because, again, I use a million nicknames, but maybe that's why I gave them no, that's definitely, I wanted to not get attached, but I don't know. I don't know what I would call them otherwise. Ooh, what types of books do you think the cats would be reading based on their personality? Okay, that's a really good question. Charlie, it would be solely for the pictures. Because that baby is not smart. Listen, we love him. We love him. But he has like, what's the saying? Like the lights are on, but nobody's home. I have clips of him as a baby just standing there and staring at nothing. And it's really funny looking back. In the moment, I was nervous, like what is wrong with that cat? But that's just Charlie. He's just vibes, no thoughts. And that's okay. So he would be a picture only baby. Book reader, I should say. Clawdia would 100% be a snobbish literary fiction or classic only girly. She would be like dark academia girly, absolutely. She would be judging you if you don't read books like that. And Chunk, I think he would be a fan of cozy fantasy. I think he would be. Clawdia, I'm hearing noises I don't like. She was trying to eat Scotch tape. I swear cats young cats are basically toddlers. Like, their full-time job is trying to themselves. Do they like the faucets or the showers? Or actually, for a little while, Charlie was sleeping in the sink in the bathrooms. He doesn't do that anymore, but Claudia is really obsessed with the kitchen sink, specifically because one of the past owners of my place did some DIYs, questionable ones. I need a plumber to fix a few things. But the dishwasher is weirdly linked to the sink, and it makes those like big little sound when it's working, and she goes insane every time. She could be deep sleep, she'll get up and go to the sink and like stare at it. So she's really obsessed with that. Otherwise, that's reminding me of a really embarrassing story about her, which this is the time. Good thing she can't understand what I'm about to say. But in the house, I always close the lid in the toilet. I feel we all should, because, you know, you're flushing. Anyway, you already know where this is going. One morning, I got up, lift the lid, and then I realized, oh, I forgot something. I just move out 2 seconds, and she jumps, because, you know, cats, they jump on the lid, jump on the top, and then maybe jump on the vanity or something, or sometimes you just stay there and stare at me. Well, there was no lid, and she just jumped into the toilet. And like, my toilet upstairs is apparently, like, I had a plumber in here and he was very impressed. Apparently it's one of those like can flush 7 golf ball kind of toilet. It's just really deep, and she just jumped in there. Hi, Cocotte. Oh, that's another nickname for her, Cocotte, which is like pine cone, I guess, but French. Anyway, yeah, so she jumped into the toilet once. She did not learn her lesson, by the way. She still does it without thinking, so there's that. Do they ever try to eat human food? Claudia, specifically chicken. Long story short, one morning I got up and I saw chicken bones on the floor, and I was like, what the hell happened? Somehow, and I know it's her now because she reacts to chicken, she got access to the compost container. She managed to open it. Maybe I didn't close it properly. Who knows? And now she's obsessed with chicken. It is partially my fault, because when she had surgery and opened her stitches, she wasn't eating enough for like a couple days, and she wouldn't, like, she would take her meds. By the way, my babies are so good. I just give them the pills and they eat them. But she wasn't really eating and she needed to, so I gave her some chicken, and now it's my fault. Every time I cook some chicken, she's in the kitchen. Every time I eat chicken, she is literally on the table or on the island if I'm eating there. And she's smart, so she will only be like as far as I can't touch. Like, just there. She knows I'm not gonna get up to move her 10 times, so she just stays there. And I was hoping she would get over it and stop begging for chicken. She hasn't. She hasn't. Otherwise, they don't care. None of them. I tried to put a little bit of like unflavored chicken broth on their food, and they'll eat it, but they don't associate it to actual chicken, so it hasn't been a problem. The only thing I can think of, Charlie likes, or he was interested in banana peel. Otherwise, oh, Claudia also one time stole a lettuce piece. Like, you know, the long romaine lettuce pieces? Like, it's fun to put stuff in there and like it's crunchy to eat. And I had some next to me and she stole one and just chewed it, but didn't actually eat it. So yeah, but chicken. Do I ever regret keeping them all? Most days I think about it. I'm half joking, but it's impossible to have 3 kittens in the whole situation with the mom without regretting it at times. It doesn't mean that I actually regret it. I think that it's similar to having kids. I am child-free, I don't want kids, but I feel like because of that, people in my life will absolutely tell me whenever they feel the regrets of having kids, like, I get it. So I think it's similar to that, like, you don't actually want them to not be here, but like, you have moments that you're like, wow, I'm touched out, I'm tired, I don't want to be here, you might lock yourself in the bathroom kind of thing. And yeah, I have those moments. I feel like it depends also how my health is going, how stressed I am, but yes, I definitely have moments that I'm like, what was I thinking? And it's okay, they're still here. So we're all alive, it's going fine, but of course I have moments I regret it. Every time I find Charlie with an air elastic in his mouth, I regret it, because I'm like, one day he's gonna require surgery. I had to throw away all my air elastic. I only have a couple left, really high on a shelf that he can't access, because sometimes outside I need to have a proper elastic, but in the house I can only use scrunchies. Like, Cool. See, I'm kind of regretting it right now. Or my main thing is whenever I found him with dental floss in his mouth, that could have been so freaking dangerous. And I had to get rid of pretty much all of them. I only have like the mini ones that are in my purse in case on the go. And I had to stop using them in the house and only use, I have some like sticky one, the stick ones. And I have to use my water floss, which I was supposed to anyway. So I guess there's that. But yeah. Those are definitely moments. Making eye contact with him when he swallowed the ribbon was definitely... Does the shedding bother you? Okay, I wanted to rave about something here for a second because it is life-changing. Took in Pear, the mom, Persephone, and I had one of those vacuums. I hated it. I hated vacuuming. I would vacuum like once a week, and I hated every second of it, even though it was purple because... But when I moved here, I wasn't planning on buying a house. It was shit show, and I got so lucky because it was a private sale and it was just before the panini, so my house was like half the price that it is now. Like I couldn't afford my house right now, and yeah, I wasn't planning on buying a house, so I had no money. So I bought, you know, the cheapest vacuum I could find, and I hated it for 3 years until I bought a standing one, and then I started using it like every 2 days, and eventually I decided to get a robot vacuum. You can get like a very affordable one. It is life freaking changing. If you have pets, more than one specifically, you need that in your life. Once a day, I just pick up all the toys and I start it, and I never see cat hair. I never see cat hair. I could show you, look away if you don't want to see it, but every day this is the amount of cat hair the vacuum picks up just from one floor. It is insane, and that's why I feel like I don't see cat hair except cat trees, and there's one specific rug in the house that just really attracts cat hair, but otherwise nowhere. It is amazing. I'm so happy. For a while, I was like, do I really need to start it every day? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Because again, you've seen the quantity of cat hair every single day. But that's the reason I don't see any. And it's amazing. I feel like it helps also with the scent. I was so worried with 4 cats that my house would stink. And I've been told that it doesn't. I feel like winter might be a bit more rough because I can't open the windows as much, but with the air purifier, the vacuuming every day, and I do use pine pellets, which may or may not work for your cat. It doesn't help with poop. You have to clean it up right away. But I feel like it really helps with pee. It doesn't smell. I obviously clean them every day. And then once a week, I actually properly clean them. And it doesn't smell. I know some of you are going to be like, it does. You just don't know. I have a little sister. She would tell me. She would 100% happily tell me if my house smelled. But I'm thinking that it probably doesn't smell that bad. Because again, vacuuming every day. Life-changing. Life-changing. I don't know what I would do without that in my life because I feel like it picks it up right away so it doesn't have time to go everywhere. Anyway, the best money I have spent this year, hands down. Do they ever want to go outside? They've never been outside except for, you know, the vet. So they don't try. They do love looking outside. I do like to like put peanuts in front of a window in the living room or like birds seeds. They love that, but they never actively try to go outside. They will wait at the door if I go outside and if I come back right away, but they never actually actively tried. And I think that if they never make it out, I might be okay, but who knows? Who knows? To be fair, Pear was an outside cat, right? She was neglected, and I was really afraid that she would try to get out, and she never did. Her past owner kept telling me that she was escaping, and she never tried to go outside in the whole year I had her. Maybe my house is that great. Did they ever destroy anything important? I'm trying to think. Like I said, Charlie used to eat the books. Actually, I think it was like around July. I just did a video, actually, the video where I went through all the books that I bought this year to talk about if I've read them or not. Check out that video if you want to see not only Pear jumping, actually climbing the cat tree, but I mentioned, I think it was July book haul, that the cats were in the background and they were like eating my books. They used to do that a lot. They stopped. And they never really got to a book that I was super attached to. I'm trying to think if they've ever, like, I think the worst is definitely Charlie eating things that I'm afraid that he's gonna swallow and kill himself. But they never really destroyed anything really important. Like I don't know which one, but one of them chewed through fairy lights, which again, I'm more afraid about them hurting themselves. Charlie has definitely licked sweaters that I'm sad about. But again, they tend to be mostly like my inside sweaters, so it hasn't been too bad. And Clawdia used to like sleep inside my slippers. I had to get rid of them because one of them peed on them. So yeah. But again, nothing that is... Am I forgetting something? Have they ever... I don't think so. I got fairly lucky so far. The sweater is hurt though, but yeah. I think I'm mostly sad that I won't be able to learn to knit. That was my next step because I love sweaters and I really wanted to get cute ones. Like, look at this one. Isn't it adorable? And I can't do that because, again, Charlie will swallow something. I'm going to insert some clips now of me trying to grab them so you can see their different personality. I feel like it's really telling. I'm going to go in order once again. We're going to start with Charlie. Charlie is this solid boy, the long boy, and he likes to be held, but in really the specific only position. In that position, I can hold him all day, every day. He will love it, but I cannot put him in a baby position. He's just too stiff. Again, like a dog, 100%. He just does not like it. So he doesn't really fight it, but he doesn't care for it. So not a big deal. Claudia, I fear for my life every time, okay? You should thank me for the next clip because she scares me every time I try to grab her. Usually I don't do it because, again, we respect her boundaries, but not for this video. And you're going to see specifically I orient her head away from me before I grab her. And I do hold the back of her head because otherwise she will fully stretch out and try to grab me from the top. So scary. And she usually just grabs my shoulder with her paws and claws, and then she might bite my shoulder. So you can see she's loving it. And if I try to put her in a baby position, she fights it. Sometimes she tolerates it for a few seconds, but generally she hates it. So I don't normally do it, but yeah, she does not care to be picked up. So yeah. Chunky though is the baby of the gang. Obviously, he loves to be picked up. He used to be so needy that he wanted to be picked up. I almost got him like one of those baby wraps thing. I would have regretted it for sure because he loves being held as a baby. He's just baby. I don't know if he will cooperate for the clips, but trust me, generally speaking, he does not fight it. So I've mentioned that Chunky has become a teenager now, right? And he started rejecting me a little bit. This is the only thing that actually hurts my feelings. I was prepared for it, but I wasn't because he started acting like I will try to pet him and sometimes he'll just swerve, which like that hurts, but it's the face he's making. And that's why I've been like teasingly saying that I love him probably the most because he's a little pathetic. It's because of the whiny voice and he looks always so sad. And when I try to pet him sometimes he'll do that and like he's acting like I'm about to beat him up. And like, I'm so offended because I have never treated him with nothing but pure love. He has never gotten like hurt ever. And he's acting like I'm doing, except for that one time where I left him with stranger and they cut off his balls. But other than that, he has been treated with nothing but love. They're so well treated. And yeah, he just, Claudia does it, which like to be expected. I'm not offended whatsoever. That's just her. She, you know, is affectionate, but on her terms. But Chunky? And you know the worst part also? I mentioned how he isn't as cuddly at night anymore, evening anymore, because he's being independent. He started sleeping in the hallway upstairs when I'm like in bed reading. I left his container randomly and I haven't moved it since because he's using it. And he just sleeps on there. All sad, alone. And I'll be like, where is he? I look in the hallway and he's there being like super sad, like he's being rejected. He chose to be there. It's like he's putting himself in timeout. Like, why are you doing this to yourself? So yeah, that hurts my feelings. Ooh, do they ever fight over food? Like I mentioned, Charlie doesn't tend to be food motivated. Actually, that's not fully true. Do you guys remember these? Because when you were babies, you were feral for these things. I didn't get the whole thing off and you're going crazy. Wait. Okay, one at a time. Not that's gonna work. Okay, Chunk. You have some all over your face. Claudia didn't get any yet. There you go. Good girl. You're so nice for once. Oh my god, look at... Chunk, you're gonna have to chill. You're gonna have to chill. You have to see this. He becomes absolutely feral. If anyone else approaches, he growls. I've never seen him like this. He's usually so gentle. Oh my god. I am hoping to maybe have some merch in 2024 with the cats. I think it would be really fun because I want sweaters with little cats on there. Would you be interested? Definitely let me know because that's definitely on my list of things to explore next year. And if I do merch, it's definitely going to be about the cats because cats. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thumbs up, subscribe. I'll put more videos, my end of the year videos on the screen, and I will see you in my next one. Say bye. Bye bye. She's like, Bish, if you don't put me down.